What is going on, rockin' Rollas? So, I'm here with my co-host, Jay Katana. Everybody, just put it out there. Just let it roll off the tip of your tongue, Jay.
You're such a beautiful whore. Law.
Oh, man.
Just law is gonna lead you to a very interesting topic tonight. People keep arguing the shit out of it, but right now we're gonna give like a little bit more angles to it, right? We'll try. Yeah.
Alright. The classic question's always been a Marshall or Fender. But you know what? We had somebody, and the first rule is we don't talk about proposed to us this evening. What about the whole digital platform? And that's where Jay and I started to really talk about it as musicians, as guitarists. You know, I lean on the tube side. Jay leans a little bit more on the, the computer side and the whole side of like, hey man, this is 21st century, you're fucking yokel, you're fucking from the boondocks, whatever, you're from out there. And I'm like, yeah, but my sound is hot. And he's like, dude, I can emulate that sound left and right. So that's where we're at this evening. It's kind of like this, if you will, it's a little bit of a war. It's a good thing that
It's gonna be a war. It's gonna be a lot of brands. It's gonna be a lot of specific models, and also personal approaches. Because
all right, so bitches, this right here, this sexy little thing I call the Baby Marshall. I don't know if I can get in the full frame, but this is actually my first amp right here. This is a transistored version of a 1981 JCM 800. This was a transistor version of it. This is the amp that I used to record on the left side of recordings to this day. That's right.
left side.
Left side. The right side, I'm sorry for everybody out there. I actually use digital emulators on the right side.
Apologizing.
Dude, I have a fan base. They love the tubes. Even though this baby's not a tube, for all you out there, don't worry. I got my Marshall Jubilee, and that's
So
full tube.
last week I was at his storage place for the first time, and beside like
Motherfucker tried to steal my shit.
Yeah, and beside all those cool records and guitars, I saw 2 cabinets and I think 2 amps, right?
That's right.
Why? You still have them?
Dude.
It's been a decade since you moved to Atlanta.
Alright. One cabinet has got Celestion 12-inch speakers in it. It's part of the Jubilee 1987 original it's a combo amp in there, right? The other cabinet's got 410 Celestions in it. Also from a 1981-1982 era Marshall cabinet. And this baby right here has got 10-inch Celestions in it. Well, one Celestion. And I'm in love with that 10-inch sound. Fender does a 10-inch speaker, and it's like they cut right through, and that's what I'm all about. It's cutting right through, straight to the heart, and I love how that feels when we're playing live. I love how that feels when we record with it. It's just such a sound, and so we get into this question of like, do we really need all this shit?
Speaking of which, we do because I didn't give a fuck. For some reason, when I was playing the guitar and I would see guys with pedal boards, their own heads, going to different festivals and everything, it was all about their set. They're even how do you call that? Power supply. Has to be with certain voltage, whatever. They would have like whatever that thing, and the whole show is about like controlling it. And I took a different approach. I had like 1 amp, 1 distortion pedal, my guitar, and I didn't give a fuck, right? And it was good enough, that punk attitude, for a while, until in my life appeared Hughes and Kettner.
Nice.
And then immediately, I was like, I sound like 2 guitars at the same time. Like what you're saying about like breaking through, that happened. And then I was like, okay, let me not be that guy who's like overthinking it, but kinda the one who pretends he doesn't care, but still sounds good.
Shit.
I didn't dig deeper than that. The next evolution happened later in US, but it's gonna be next.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
The evolution of sound and our ability to record at home and our ability to record in the studio, I think that
We are very lucky because our generation actually had the chance to record at the studios when you're not sitting next to a guy next to the computer and playing with him. We were actually sitting in a fucking recording room with the doors shut, with the glass, headphones, and you're next to your amp with the specific angle to the specific mic with the specific position to the mic.
So for
Kinda like-
everybody, leave those comments down below. All of y'all motherfuckers who know what it's like to go inside the studio and record with your amp and you're recording with that, you know, who it is, and you have to get those tracks just
Behind
right,
the fucking glass.
you know? And for all of you guys that are out there doing it inside the home and you're cut and pasting, look, man, I'm a huge fan of the cut and paste. I'm gonna even dish it out like this, okay? Give me 1 second while I find my album here.
Take your time. We're not in a rush. Just take your time. It's okay. It's okay.
Shit.
It's just 20 minutes. It's okay. Valuable information.
Shit. Somebody took my Nine Inch Nails Broken album. Anyway, so Nine Inch Nails Broken, that is the first album wherever I have read as a young buck the cut and paste. And I'm all in favor of cut and paste. I love it. It is
Just shut the
freaking
fuck
awesome.
up. Shh.
No,
That's
but
it.
for real.
Shh.
There's a fucking...
Shh. Nothing. No more information. Shh. That's it. Guys, you know what the fuck to do. I'm in trouble. He's gonna be pissed. He doesn't like when I'm touching him. But you have to fucking subscribe. Because if you're not fucking subscribing, like I'm having a fucking torch here. And I'm fucking gonna like go after all of you motherfuckers and fucking blow the head off you. Like, I'm sorry, man. That's it. So what's up with Nine Inch Nails?
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
You heard me.
The shit got hot. There's a little bit of a fucking debate. We got a little bit, too excited about it. So please, if you want to see this podcast continue, then what you got to do is... What's that?
Subscribe.
Boom.
And leave a fucking comment.
Yeah. For all you...
With your favorite amp.
Yeah, for
Or
everybody
a
that's
pedal.
out there, let us know. What do you prefer? You prefer...
What determines your sound?
Yeah, what do you prefer? You prefer the tube? You prefer the digital? Whatever it is. Let us know why and what you prefer out there. I myself, I'm in a weird place where it's like I got an 87 Jubilee in storage, but you know what? I also use a up-to-date computer. So when I'm out there playing live, I want my tube sound. When I'm in...
Seriously.
Oh,
So when you're playing live, you need your tube sound?
dude, why am I gonna freak around? Sorry for all you guys that don't know about tubes, but if you wanna get out there and try to, turn the volume up on your shitty little amps, they ain't gonna cut it. That's just the reality of it. Unless you got a tube amp, the tube amp will cut through everything. Yeah.
And thanks to technology, finally, pedals and processors started sounding really cool. Especially in the working touring conditions, when you don't know how a room is going to be like. You have no idea what of backend you have. All you have to do is to have your pedal with your presets and a wire to the mixer. That's it. You're not gonna sound as warm and as solid as with the tubes, but at least you will sound decent.
It's kind of like, you're gonna get laid, but you're not gonna be that good of a lover. But you could still get...
It's a gamble. It's a gamble.
Look, Get out there, get laid, take your tube amps, the full fucking force live. You know, they don't have to be fucking
Take your
100-watt
chances.
heads.
Take your chances. Just see
You
what's
can
up.
literally use 25-watt heads out there live. When you get inside the studio, use your emulators. You get the best of both
Just
worlds.
go for it. Go for
Yeah.
it because you never know.
'Cause let's face it.
Hmm.
You like David Lee Roth, right? But you ain't gonna lie. It's a guilty pleasure. You like some Sammy Hagar stuff and Van Halen.
Hmm.
Okay. You're gonna get the best of both worlds this way.
You have go ahead and try because you're gonna find yourself only when you actually open. And
It's kind of like this. When you open.
yeah, it's more like kind of like you're not sure if she's gonna go down or anything, and you kind of like help her out. You keep moving like up, 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 and every inch matters. And then at some point it's gonna like. But you have to take your chances. You have to because.
And remember, just because you hear something like, I don't normally do this.
Why you keep bringing this up?
So just like a woman, I have a question.
All right, we have a question from the
yeah,
audience.
from
Louder.
nobody.
Some
Question
motherfucker
from
out there is
nobody.
like calling us
Louder.
out.
Question from a nobody. So, you've mentioned about, you're lucky because you played in a room, and you're also bringing up the idea of being in a room. That sets a mood, right?
It's a good question.
So, do you think that the studio is dead? Because now, like you said, you can just plug into the computer, and now the architecture, the acoustics, they just don't even matter? Or does it still matter? I know,
It's a good question. You take this,
I don't know.
and then I take this. So
Is the studio dead? That's a profound question. Freak, no, the studio is not dead. Because the studio is something that you can take into your literal bedroom, meaning that as how creative you can possibly be, that is where you're at with your studio. If you want to take it all the way to the level of someone's literally, there's a label paying you to be in a studio and they're fronting that cash, that is freaking awesome. But it all comes down to how far your creativity wants to take it. So the death of the studio is literally the death of the artist.
very beautiful thought. I have to respectfully disagree. Unfortunately, because I'm feeling really bad about it, and I think it's wrong. But unfortunately, that's what happens. What's the end of it? The end of it is how people listen to music, and people don't listen to the music on a beautiful stereo, whatever gear anymore. Majority of them, they listen on the fucking headphones. And guess what? Some of them don't even listen on iPods or Beats. They listen to fucking some cheap headphones, right? So at some point, the studio guys, they understand. It's kind of like all that strive for the sound. It's not worth it because majority will listen it in the fucking headphones. That's why it's easier, like producing wise, to kind of like not to worry about it. It's kind of like work with plugins, work with the dude in the room. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. I don't approve this message because 30 years later you can put Slave to the Grind, right? And then you're asking why the guitar sounds so awesome. And you know why? Because it's that German dude, what's his name? Wagner? Michael Wagner?
Yeah.
It's that who recorded Motley Crue demo. Is that German dude somehow figured it out. Alright? And that's it. It's kinda like coming back to girls. It's like you can just like slip around or they'll be the one, so you never know.
Do you want to be iconic between the sheets or, well,
Is it the 20-minute mark?
You guys got a few more minutes.
A few more minutes.
5 more minutes.
let's just cut up, man.
My friend has a big announcement. He's about to bring a set of rules to the podcast, so why don't you evolve in that?
The first rule is you don't talk about the edge. The second rule is you don't talk about Edge. Now I see a lot of you have been talking about the Edge. Cut.